What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. Bachelorette Season 21, Jenn Tran season premiered just this Monday, and we are ready to kick off another season of The Bachelorette. The driveway is watered, and we are ready to rock and roll. But we are not at the normal Bachelor Mansion. We are at the Hummingbird Nest Ranch, still there in California, but we are ready to kick things off. I really am looking forward to the season. I think Jenn is going to absolutely kill it. On Monday morning, I did post my Final Four prediction with my winner pick, so go check that out if you haven't. Also, before we jump in, if you could just like and subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this video and want more Bachelorette content throughout this season and going forward. We jump in with a little teaser for the season that they've been doing the last handful of years. Incredible editing last couple years by the crew, and we get another good little quick look at the season. Towards the end of the season there for Jenn. We have her saying to someone, "I can't let you propose to me." Jesse asking her if she's okay with whatever happens here. And we're going through the little Jenn intro of her and, kind of who she is for people who may have not watched Joey's season. Just going through her recap from that season, her life in general, I guess. She's in Boston now, or maybe her family's just in Boston. Monday, when I posted that video, I said Miami because that's where I remember it saying she was from on The Bachelor, but could be a change in area code there for Jenn up the coast. But obviously, Jenn being the first Asian American Bachelorette, or lead in general, should I say, she knows that there's pressure with that, but I know she's going to kill it, and it's about time that the show gets it right. Better late than never. Should have happened a long time ago, but they have the perfect woman for the lead to take on this role. She said she's going to flirt her little booty off and going to meet her future husband. But it is going to take a while that we're not at the normal Bachelor Mansion. But we have 25 men this season, so let's get started on the intros. First one out of the limo is Marcus, an Army Ranger from North Carolina. First out of the car, went on 6 missions and almost didn't come back from his last mission. A grenade came in, and the next thing he knew, he woke up in a hospital in Washington, D.C. Now, first off, thank you for your service, Marcus, and happy that you're here, and good luck on this journey. Seemed like a good start there for Jenn. Marvin comes out speaking a little French, I believe that was. Sam says he's a virgin, a love virgin, that is. Okay, that was maybe a good one. Didn't seem like Jenn was really digging it, though. Jenn did compliment his eyelashes, which they did show him doing prior. Said that he can be a gentleman. Hold for the applause there. Grant shows up beatboxing and sings his intro. He played Division I basketball and played overseas. Shout out Grant, that's awesome. Works in finance now. Sam M, so there's 2 Sams, asks her to picture her life 50 years from now. Saturday morning, cooking breakfast, 2 drinks in his hand, and wants to know if she knows what time it is. It's shadow clock. Nice callback there to Jenn, Joey's season there. Thomas N made her a bracelet, says before he puts a ring on it. Brendan pops out a hot pepper. The punchline was he can handle the heat, but it's like, I think you might need some milk there, buddy. Seem to be struggling a little bit. Dakota pops some champagne. Kevin comes out in skiing gear. Spencer brought some pocket squares for them to choose out. Brian says, "I want to make sure you're up to date on your shots," with some syringes with alcohol in there for them. Matt brings ginger shots. Austin comes out with a fire extinguisher. Ricky writes something about her being naked, a little song or poem, something. When he walks away, she says, "Was he staring at my boobs the whole time, or was that just me?" Maybe not the best start there for Ricky. Thomas A brings out 2 puppies. Best intro by far. If you bring out puppies or dogs of any kind, you automatically are skyrocket to the top of first impression list. Jenn even says, "I don't know how anyone's going to compete with that." Jonathan rolls in on a stretcher with his face wrapped because he says he's lovesick. Had his cheeks out in the back of the gown and everything. So interesting start there for Jonathan. Just kind of letting some of it hang out the back end there. Aaron rides in on a motorcycle, which this is Noah's twin brother. Obviously, Noah Erb, who was on The Bachelorette a couple seasons ago, Bachelor in Paradise, where he met Abigail, who they are obviously engaged now. Aaron was married at 21 already and divorced. Next up, a sports car comes rolling in. It's Jeremy. Tosses the keys to Jesse and says, "Keep it close." Says, I know people with this type of car are compensating, or people may think they're compensating. And he said, I have a really big, I mean really big. You think he's going to go for the punchline that Jenn did when she was announced as the Bachelorette? Say a really big, I mean a really big personality. But nope, he actually says what you think he said there. Jenn was even a little thrown off by that. Like, okay, all right. Dylan shows up with his stethoscope. My winner pick right here, by the way, Dylan. Make sure to watch my preview video from Monday morning. Med student, just like Jenn. Just took the MCAT from Sacramento. John brings out a pedestal and says, I'll always put you on a pedestal. Brett has a nice, lighthearted intro. Fan favorite, Brett from night one. Mose says she's been in his dreams the last couple nights. Jahan brings her the queen chess piece. Devin says it's not every day you get to meet your future wife. I kind of like Devin a little bit at the beginning of this episode. Says he's got a big personality like Jenn, and said that he was raised by a single mom. And I kind of like him at this point, though. Gotta wait for the whole episode to go through, though. But first impression, thought it was a good first impression there for Devin. Hakeem comes in with a backpack with a bunch of balloons on it and says he was floating on cloud 9 when he found out that Jenn was the Bachelorette. Don't know how he was making it through the doorways into the house, though, or how some light or chandelier didn't break. Jenn talks about what love really means to her in her intro speech to the group of guys, and it's Sam M., the first one to steal her for a chat. Seems to go really well for both sides. Good initial connection. She wanted to kiss him, but he went in for the cheek kiss, and she was good with that. Getting to know these guys a little bit better before she, gives out the first kiss. Spencer has a solid chat as well, tells her she's going to be great, and he has the best job, personally, in my opinion, a pet photographer. Thomas N. has a good talk. They both talk about their parents being immigrants, and they instantly connect over that. And this dude still has his cheeks out in the hospital gown. Sam N. leads everyone to start a game of Truth or Dare. The first one, Austin, has to go streaking throughout the house. Has some interesting underwear on, to say the least, for national television. Guys are having fun with it, but a few of them have a few interesting responses, like saying and admitting in front of the person you're trying to date, and one of your first impressions saying that you ghost people all the time. I don't know how well that's going to go over there for you, buddy. Sam N., the love version, has a combo with Jenn. He says he's never had a girlfriend before and takes everything very seriously, which is similar to Jenn's culture, as she says. Jonathan, still with the bandages on, cheeks out, finally gets the combo with Jenn and wants her to get to know him on the inside first. Ask if he made a good first impression after they finally tear off the bandages on his face. Just kind of a little weird. I don't know. I think the punchline of the intro, or not punchline, I don't have a better word for it, but the point of the intro, I think was good, but just kind of a little weird. Like, did I make a good first impression? Like, seems a little self-centered there, but we'll move on. Jesse brings out the first impression road, so the tenseness in the room comes about. Oz has a blackboard. It does a little algebra equation, since he is a math teacher. Hakeem creates a handshake for them. Our guy Dylan has a short combo. We unfortunately didn't see too much from that. I won't write too much into that so far. Still only night one. Brian is going out to steal the car from Jeremy, who just took Jenn to the car. Have an awkward exchange there. Brian has the keys and won't give them up to Jeremy, even though it's his car. He's like, nope, it's time for me to have some time. Producers were working their magic on this one, giving Brian the keys to Jeremy's car there to stir up a little drama on night one. Awkward silence and red flags all over the place on both sides, for me personally, in my opinion, should I say. Jenn says that's a bold move, but really we all know what she's thinking inside. That's red flags on both sides, in my opinion, mainly Brian's here, but Jeremy's a little bit too. Even he said, I didn't want to engage in this like childish dispute or argument, whatever, but he did to a certain degree. So kind of red flags all over the place right there. Producers doing the work early on, like I said. Jeremy hears them revving the car out front as they go to commercials. Rubbing salt in the wound there a little bit. Brian comes in and is beatboxing about stealing Jeremy's car. Devin opens up about his family, and they connect on both having a big personality. Again, he says, I like when girls have their nails done. I'm sorry, like, ads on, let me get a bite when she says she got her toes done today. Okay. A little bit interesting. Okay, Devin. The combo in the house amongst the guys comes out about anyone having a first kiss yet. See, no one has, to this point at least. Grant takes her outside to play basketball. He says if he wins, he gets a kiss. They shoot around for a little bit. They actually do have a normal conversation after two about how important for Jenn it is being a physician's assistant and what that means to her. Then there's some silence, and seems like possibly Grant might be going in for the first kiss, but then Jenn comes in and gets stolen by Thomas N. Jenn tells Marcus that he made a lasting impression. Obviously, Marcus, the Army Ranger, was the first one out of the limo. Jenn feels comfortable and says she thinks that they have a little bit of chemistry. Aaron, Noah's brother, gets a convo and tells Jenn about her brother, Noah. And Jenn seems to vibe with him early on, so good early sign for Aaron. I love that line that he said, "I'm just trying to love you, I'm not trying to change you." Good line, good start there for Aaron. Handful of guys seem confident in getting the first impression rose, but Jenn grabs Sam M. Jenn says she hasn't been able to stop thinking about him all night. Her gut says something's here. Gives him the rose, and they have the first kiss of the season for our girl Jenn, and she says there was a lot of tension built up throughout the night, and feels good to let it all out, and oh boy, did they let it out all over that couch. Nice passionate kiss for a first kiss of the season there for Jenn and Sam M. Unfortunately, though, it seems like Sam M is just giving off major, not good news vibes, I guess, is the polite way to put it. But don't mean to judge a book by its cover, but that's just seems to be the consensus online, too, what we're getting from Sam M right now. But he gets the first impression rose and the first kiss of the season, so good on him. Jesse comes in to break up the party. It's time for the rose ceremony. Meanwhile, Jenn is editing-wise, at least, still upstairs with Sam M, making out on the couch, while the guys are patiently waiting at the rose ceremony. Our guy Dylan does get the first rose of the rose ceremony, so we like that. In the battle of Jeremy versus Brian, the battle of the car and the keys, they both get a rose. So will that continue into the coming weeks? Jonathan Cheeks are still out. He gets a rose. The final rose of the night goes to Sam N. So we have Mose, Brett, Brendan, Dakota, Kevin, Matt, and Ricky all going home, not receiving roses. Jenn gets emotional, saying she came in worrying that she wasn't everyone's first choice, but the men made her feel worthy of love. Jenn's feeling really good at this point, and we love to see it. Jenn announces that they're going to Australia tomorrow. So we aren't even staying in Los Angeles or California or the States at all. We're just immediately hopping on a plane and going to Australia. Kind of like it. Let's kind of see how this, maybe it'll be a little bit of a globe-trotting journey for Jenn. We get the season preview, the long-awaited season preview that we always love at the beginning of the season, the end of the first episode. Kind of give us a vibe for how this season's going to go. And boy, it's, I said in the preview video, we've had a couple seasons that were pretty much all about love, not much drama. And I hope for Jenn's sake, this season is a lot about love too, but it sure does look like there's going to be quite a bit of drama. So many alums on this season coming, it looks like. Jason and Molly, Charity, Daisy and Kelsey. Sam M says, it looks like in a radio show with, it looked like the date that Jason and Molly were on, says that he's been falling in love with her since the beginning. I forget the exact wordage he says, but says that he's been falling in love with her. So there's one. Grant says he's falling in love. And Devin says he was falling in love. So there's three just in the promo for the season. Someone from Jenn's past shows up at some point and wants to join the journey, and it kind of looks like, or at least they make it look like he does. Could be one of those, like, let me think about it, come to the rose ceremony tonight, we'll see how it goes. That's kind of how I think it goes. It's always messy when it's only happened a handful of times where someone from the past wants to come in, or someone from a different season, or someone comes back, you know, like whatever, like Alea on Peter's season was sent home, came back like a week or two later and came back in. It always goes messy. I don't picture Jenn going that route and actually keeping this person around if that's the case. And it seems like from the guys that this doesn't go over well, even just bringing him into the mix right here. Aaron drops all the guys aren't here for the right reasons to Jenn, and she's like, you can't just drop that bomb and not say a name. And he's like, you got to figure it out yourself. Thomas A looks to get in some arguments, possibly about saying I love you, and them saying like, you're a kid, you don't know about love. That's the love version, as we know from this episode. Someone says that Sam is the most conniving guy here, and that's kind of the vibe we were getting a little bit. Jenn says, how can you love me and not know me, to Sam. Say Devin has twisted Jenn into his web of lies. Jenn says she doesn't know how to be in a healthy relationship. She says she's done letting men dictate her relationships. She also says that she has to choose herself. As Jesse says, no Bachelorette has ever done this. Never thought I'd do this. At the start of the journey, I have to do what's right for me. Jenn says, are we about to get a Brad Womack and her not choose anyone? I kind of doubt it, but that's kind of the vibe they're going for right now, which they often, kind of do. Leave us on the edge of our seats, especially here at the beginning of the season. Well, anyways, that was a lot to take in, I know, but it looks like a dramatic journey as it usually is. Ups and downs, but hopefully there's a lot of love for Jenn and a happy ending for her at the end of this. Preseason predictions, I'm still really high on Dylan. We didn't see a lot of him tonight, but still really high on him, especially we saw him in a few clips there in the preview for the season. But I'm up in the air on the other three that were in my top four right now. Haven't seen much early from John. Jonathan, we saw a little bit. Jonathan's the one with the bandages. And Spencer, didn't see a whole lot from Spencer either. We saw both Jonathan and Spencer a little bit in the trailer for the season. So hopefully they stick around for a while. But I think Devin and Sam M are both trouble, as we kind of said here that we've seen in the trailer for the season. Looks like Thomas A might get in some drama as well, so that's something to keep an eye on. I do like Aaron, Noah's brother, as I said. But most importantly, I think we're off to a good start for our guy, Dylan. Also, it seems like we're off to a solid start for Jenn. Seems like she has a good vibe so far with this group of guys and a handful of guys. Obviously, still only night one, but off to a good start, I'd say. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.